If you were in America in the 1970s, you saw her everywhere. In magazines, on television, on billboards, golden blonde hair, bronzed skin, that healthy California smile. Her name was Cheryl Tiegs, and she wasn't just a model, she was an era's ideal, healthy, natural, accessible, yet equally admirable. But no one could know back then that this woman wouldn't just be a beautiful face. She would show how models could become businesswomen, how brands could become people. This is Cheryl Tiegs' story from the quiet towns of Minnesota to the iconic covers of Sports Illustrated, and from there to the heart of American culture. 25 scenes, 25 poses, 25 transformations. And perhaps for the first time you'll see the woman behind that famous smile. Cheryl Ray Tiegs was born in Breckenridge, Minnesota in 1947. Her father was a funeral director, her mother a housewife, a quiet, ordinary Midwestern family. Cheryl was the middle of 3 children. "I never felt special," she'd say years later. "I was just a normal girl." But the neighbours had already noticed those blonde locks, those blue eyes. "Your daughter is so beautiful," they'd tell her mother. Her mother would just smile. When Cheryl was 10, the family moved to California, to Alhambra near Los Angeles. From Minnesota's cold winters to California's endless sunshine. Everything changed for Cheryl. Beaches, palm trees, a different rhythm of life. "The first time I saw the ocean," she says, "I felt free." She was popular in high school, not stuck up, just radiant. She got along easily with everyone, and the sun turned her skin golden bronze. Cheryl had never thought about modelling, but one day someone sent a photo taken of her in high school to 17 magazine. A family friend photographer had said, "This girl should be in magazines." The photo landed on the editor's desks, and the phone rang. "May we speak with Cheryl Tiegs?" "That's me," Cheryl said, surprised. "We'd like to see you." That moment, everything began. In 1964, at just 17 years old, her first cover appeared in 17 magazine. Fresh, young, natural, minimal makeup, simple hair. "You're a very photogenic girl, Cheryl," the photographer said. Cheryl didn't understand what that meant. "The camera loves you," the photographer explained, and the camera truly did love her. After high school, she started attending California State University, but she also continued modeling. Glamour magazine used her frequently. By the late 1960s, Cheryl was becoming a recognized name, but there were no supermodels yet. That concept hadn't been invented. Cheryl was just a very hard-working, reliable, and very photogenic model. In the early 1970s, she moved to New York. Because serious models had to be in New York, she signed with Ford Models. Eileen Ford was the most powerful woman in the industry. "You're special, Cheryl," Eileen said, "but you have to work hard." Cheryl listened and worked, went to every casting, posed every hour, never complained. In 1970, she appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Issue. This was a big deal. Sports Illustrated was a sports magazine, but the swimsuit issue was part of American culture. Cheryl on the beach, in a white swimsuit, under the sun. Healthy, athletic American. The magazine sold record numbers, and Cheryl instantly became a national name. The 1970s was Cheryl's decade. Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Cosmopolitan, on every major magazine cover. But she was different from other models, not untouchable, not cold. She could be your sister, your friend, your neighbour. They called her the all-American girl, and that was the highest praise. In 1978, she became the first model to appear on the cover of Time magazine. Time was a serious journalism magazine, politics, economics, world events. But they put Cheryl on the cover. Headline, "The All-American Model." This was a cultural moment. Models were no longer just in the fashion world. They were at the centre of mainstream culture, and Cheryl was the symbol of this transformation. The same year, she shot for Sports Illustrated on a tropical island in a pink filet crochet bikini. The photo became a phenomenon. That poster sold 5 million copies. Men hung it on their walls. Women wanted that bikini. Cheryl wasn't just a model anymore. She was a cultural icon. "I was just doing my job," she says years later, "but that photo became something bigger than me." Cheryl went beyond models, being just images. She made a deal with CoverGirl, her face in every pharmacy, every supermarket. But this wasn't just an advertisement. Cheryl was the brand face. And this meant money. Serious money. Cheryl showed she was a smart businesswoman. "I don't just want to be beautiful," she said. "I want to be powerful." After CoverGirl came Revlon, then Clairol. Cheryl's face was everywhere, and each deal brought in millions. Back then, models didn't make that kind of money, but Cheryl was changing the rules of the game. The model of her brand concept became concrete with her. Later would come Linda Evangelista, Cindy Crawford. But Cheryl paved the way. Cheryl started appearing on television, not in commercials, but in shows. The Love Boat, Hotel, various series. Her acting talent was limited, but nobody cared, because she was Cheryl Tiegs. The camera loved her, the audience loved her. The 1980s saw a fitness explosion. Aerobics, jogging, healthy living. Cheryl was a pioneer in this too. She worked with sportswear brands, released fitness videos. "Women can be strong," she said. "Not just thin, but strong." This was revolutionary at the time, and Cheryl was the face of this revolution. Cheryl married 4 times. Her first marriage was at a young age to photographer Stan Dragotti, then actor Peter Beard, then yoga expert Tony Peck. Finally, actor and rod builder Rod Stryker. Each marriage was a chapter, some happy, some painful. "I'm someone who believes in love," she says, "and sometimes love isn't enough." Cheryl was a mother. She had 3 sons, Zachary, Jaden, Theo. She slowed her career for her children. "They're my everything," she'd say. But she didn't quit completely because Cheryl loved working. Work gave her identity. At 36, she was on the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit cover again. This was incredible because in the fashion world, the 30s were considered old. But Cheryl was still stunning, still photogenic, still all-American. "Age is just a number," she said. And she proved it. Cheryl launched her own brands, clothing, accessories, home goods. The Cheryl Tiegs brand was sold at Sears and Kmart. Some considered this cheap, but Cheryl didn't care. "I design for everyone," she said, "not just the rich." And the public loved her even more. As years passed, Cheryl turned to the environment, organic products, sustainable fashion, nature conservation. "Our planet is dying," she said, "and I can't just sit quietly." She worked with various environmental organizations. She was no longer just a beautiful face. She was an activist, a role model. In the 2000s, Cheryl was no longer actively modeling, but she was still recognized, still respected. Young models consulted her. "How did you stay successful for so long?" they'd ask. Cheryl would smile. "Be humble, be hardworking, and never forget who you are." Fashion historians recognize Cheryl as one of the first supermodels. after Twiggy, before Naomi and Cindy. She was the transition period, but the most important period, because she showed that models could be not just mannequins, but brands. Cheryl didn't hide aging. She got Botox, had cosmetic procedures, but didn't lie. "Yes, I did," she said, "because it's my choice." Some criticized, but Cheryl defended it. Women have the right to make decisions about their own bodies. Today, Cheryl lives a quiet life in California. She has grandchildren, she tends to her garden, occasionally gives interviews, but mostly she's quiet. "I've seen enough cameras," she says with a laugh. "Now I just want to live." Cheryl Tiegs wasn't just a model. She was an ideal, embodied, healthy, natural, accessible beauty. This was what 1970s America was looking for, and Cheryl represented it perfectly. She wasn't unattainable European high fashion. She was the girl next door who happened to be stunning. She was tennis, swimming, sunshine. She was California dreaming, made real. Years passed. New models came. But Cheryl Tiegs wasn't forgotten, because she was a symbol of an era. That pink bikini is still remembered. That smile is still iconic. And she showed us that beauty is temporary, but impact is permanent, forever. So how do you remember Cheryl Tiegs, just as a model, or as an era's American dream? Share with us in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another journey through fashion history.